over to our first speaker. I'm really excited about bringing on Skip. Not only is he's one of my most favorite humans, and I'm very partial to his beautiful wife Jill. I love her to pieces. This couple has been one of the first founding distributors of LifeVantage. He was an established, very successful chiropractor. He worked in Parker, Colorado, and he was actually one of the biggest cash practices. He actually adjusted and treated many professional athletes. This was after serving in the U.S. Air Force. Thank you so much for that, Skip. And he's taught in school complementary and different alternative medicine. He was one of the first distributors in LifeVantage, launching this company 10 years ago, and is now a master Pro 10. Did that in about 2 years with the company, no network marketing experience, and it's provided an incredible lifestyle for him, his beautiful children, and 8 grandkids. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Skip, to share a little bit about where this started, because you were here in the beginning. So it doesn't get any better than hearing from somebody who was at like the first starting line of taking this incredible little yellow pill to the masses. So over to you, Skip.
Thanks, Rachel. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
Awesome. Well, in case I didn't do this on the last call, let me say congratulations again. I was looking on my text messages for the Zoom link, and I saw the awesome picture for your guys' wedding invitation. So congratulations. You guys look super, super happy. I'm excited for you. And yeah, when you were talking about the thousands, we have drawn thousands of doctors here. And I realized that because Jill and I our distributor number is 12. So we're number 000012. And so that makes me probably the first doctor in LifeVantage too. And so that's kind of awesome. Thanks for the invitation, that kind intro. Yeah, I saw this like the first time like you did. I saw the ABC Primetime video first. I had been practicing for 18 or 19 years, I think, when I saw it. I loved every minute of being in practice. We had a big practice. My wife and I loved it, but we didn't have any leverage. And, sometimes people ask me, what do you say to a doctor? And I say, well, we're people too. We want leverage too. We want to own our own time as well. And if I could go back in time, or if I could have an effect on the education I got, I would have put in there business education, because most of us have none of it, or very, very little of it. We just get all this education, and then they say, okay, now go try to make it work. And nobody teaches you really any business. I mean, they're starting to put some small business in there. So that kind of played a little bit of a role as I started to kind of educate myself on business. I saw a lot of companies. I saw a lot of different products, and I think I love network marketing now. I think now that I'm a little more educated with network marketing, I think they have great products. But nothing really ever just grabbed me. Nothing ever captured my imagination the way that ABC Primetime video captured mine and yours, I'm sure. And so when I saw that ABC Primetime video for the first time, I looked at my wife and I said, I know what oxidative stress is. I mean, if that's true, if that product can do what they just said it can do, it's the most important thing you can put in your mouth. And we actually went to work. You put that slide on there earlier. I was teaching a complementary alternative medical elective at the University of Colorado. So I went down to the library, and at the Colorado Library, and I started looking at the medical library. I started looking the research up. I started looking up, and I found out Doe McCord teaches there. And so I said, you know what? I'm just going to the Fountainhead. I'm just going to go sit down with this guy, and I'm going to find out firsthand how legit this is. And so my wife and I got a chance to meet with Joe a couple of times and pick his brain a little bit. And I'm going to be honest, I was a little surprised in the beginning that he really didn't know exactly how this worked. If you go back and look at the history of LifeVantage, in the beginning, he thought maybe it was just some kind of a new and novel approach to direct antioxidants. He wasn't exactly sure. He wasn't talking Nerf2 the first year. He wasn't talking, he knew that it increased SOD, but he didn't know how. And I remember thinking back to myself at the time, I had heard of nutritional supplements, and most of them. Not a lot of people at the time were talking about Nerf2, and not a lot of people at the time were talking about endogenous antioxidant enzymes, epigenomics, all of that stuff. It wasn't, people weren't talking about it. And so when Joe started to figure out that this was activating the NRF2 pathway, I went back to the library. I put the citation in the comments if anybody wants to go look it up. But on PubMed.gov, this is literally one of the reasons I got so excited in the beginning, is if you go to PubMed.gov, you can type in that citation. And in 2010, Texas Health Science Centers published a study, and the study was titled NRF2, a guardian of health span and gatekeeper of species longevity. If you scroll down toward the end, it says, we hypothesize that this signaling pathway plays a critical role in the determination of species longevity, and that this pathway may be the master regulator of the aging process. Well, nobody was talking about it. We had a supplement that looked like we could activate that pathway, and there was, there's that sentence right there. And I thought, man, I'm not stupid. I mean, I might be a doctor, but I can recognize maybe a coming trend. I might be able to, I told my wife, I said, I hope we can get in front of this. This is literally what I said. I said, I really hope that we can get in front of this before everybody else figures it out. And now the results. Now we're 26, 27 peer reviews in. We've got that recent one from Washington State that basically says the same thing about the NRF2 pathway. And the reality is, if you Google oxidative stress, we're talking about a couple of 100,000 citations, and we have a fraction of that with NRF2 and epigenomics. And so we are literally at the very beginning of something that I think is really, really exciting. And so it was 50-50 for me, Rachel, in the beginning. It was, I'm going to take that product forever. I'm going to give it to all of my patients because they all have inflammation. They all have fibrosis. They all have oxidative stress. And I didn't talk to any of my patients about the business, but I was going to give it to every one of them. I'm going to take it forever, and I hope I can get ahead of this. And luckily enough, I mean, honestly, we're not having this Zoom if it weren't a network marketing company. We're just not even here. We're taking the product, but we're not even here. And so luckily it became a network marketing company. And I had a little bit of faith. I kind of went forward and started building a business, not knowing what I was doing. And so I did that, and I don't want to justify that with the science, but the science was a huge part of that. It gave me some posture, the ability to go say, Harvard, Louisiana State, Virginia Commonwealth, Washington State, University of Florida. It gave me a little bit of posture to say, you know what, maybe I normally wouldn't be doing this, but this is so overwhelmingly important. It's something that nobody's talking about and nobody knows about. And now we have the ability to take it into a network marketing model. And it was a no-brainer at the time for us. And I'll tell you one other thing really quickly about the beginning was that even though I didn't know anything about necessarily the nuts and bolts, like I was a fly on the wall in the beginning where you would have been an asset, but I was there and I could hear as they were having these discussions. We had a meeting outside of the office where it is right now. There's a hotel, a Garden Inn, a Hilton Garden Inn there. Rachel, you know right where that is, right by the office. And it was really where this company was formed, where the name LifeVantage was given to it. And Dr. McCord was there, and all the original guys were there, and there was probably 30 of us in the room. And I really kind of got a warm and fuzzy at that meeting, not because I thought, yeah, we're in front of something that's going to be huge, but because of the discussion that was happening with the people that were at the very top of this. And I'm just going to let you in on one little piece of it, because I could talk for an hour. We genuinely wanted to be different in the way that we paid our distributors. We genuinely wanted to have a giant middle class in this company. And so the conscious decision was made to rearrange the percentages in our dynamically compressed unilevel so that the Pro 1s and 2s and 3s could really make enough money to either stick around long enough to be lucky or stick around long enough to develop the skills necessary. But we thought we could have a couple of distributors making $1 million a month and be like every other network marketing company in America, or we could be strong in our middle class and be unlike any other network marketing in America. And so when I coupled that, knowing the inside, the heart of the men that were putting this together and the real desire they had to have an impact on the average person, along with the supplements, and I hate to say supplements, the nutrigenomics and all of their studies, I came out of that meeting and Jill and I looked at each other and we're like, we're going all the way to Pro 10. There's no doubt. Nothing's going to stop us. And this is going to be the biggest thing to hit network marketing since Amway. And all of those things are still true. We got to Pro 10, and like you said, I think about 30 months. I still believe this is going to be the biggest thing, because when it comes to the science and when it comes to network marketing with this company and this product, we've just scratched the scratch. We don't even know yet how big this could be. So if you're a medical doctor or a chiropractor or whatever, and you want to own your own time like I did, this is such a natural fit for what we're already doing. I believe you're a doctor because you want to serve. I believe most people become doctors because they want to add value to other people's lives. This has been the best thing I have done to add value to other people's lives. And then the fact that I get to do it with my best friend and bride life is a dream right now. It's why I'm so excited for you and your fiance. So I hope that's what you were looking for. Rachel, I'm super excited to be here. I don't know if you can tell. We feel the same about you. I'll do anything for you anytime. I'm going to have you on my call soon, but I'll throw it back to you and we'll have some more fun.
Thank you so much, Dr. Skip. It's so cool because you have somebody that was there watching and hearing the transition. You had a doctor that knew he was onto something, that had, was kind of ahead of his time in finding ways to upregulate these antioxidants, that was kind of shifting how we as consumers were attacking our maybe age-related concerns. And then all of a sudden, the product goes to market, ABC Primetime goes bananas, millions of people get excited, universities begin conducting studies, and then doctors and medical professionals and health, enthusiasts like you see the opportunity 10 years ago and begin jumping on board. And we're going to hear from a couple more people that over the last 9, 8, 7, 4 years, they saw it as well. They got excited and have built massive networks with their patients, their clients, and most importantly, their loved ones, because they want to feel better and they want to do more today. But this is really big, guys. Why most wellness professionals wouldn't touch network marketing with a 10-foot pole? They wouldn't with a 40-foot pole. Why? Because the products are fine, they're good, they're noble, but they don't have proof. And this is what you're going to hear from our next speaker, who's going to share with you as an international educator and lecturer. Dr. Neil E. Goodman is a board-certified pediatric and adolescent medicine specialist. He has been a fellow and a member of numerous accredited universities and associations all over the country, with a specialty in really anti-aging and using functional medicine to feel your best. He looks incredible for his age, and this guy is going to explain why we, as I'm just your average person, but why we can take this product and begin seeing immediate results at a cellular level, instead of wasting money on useless dietary antioxidants or expensive juices or fancy berries or weird funguses that grow on the side of a mountain or dangerous, medications or unproven therapies. This works. So Dr. Neil, let's dive into the granular level. Skip shared a little bit about, okay, hey, this is high level. We have an amazing business opportunity as a professional to build part-time, but why is this company so great? It's the product, isn't it? It's the product. So I'm going to pass it over to you to share a little bit more about activation, this little yellow pill, and this new trifecta effect that we can get tackling things from every single angle to feel our best. So over to you, Doc.
Thank you. Oh, hey, everybody. Thank you so much for this opportunity to talk. And Skip, that was just fantastic. I never heard that story about the inside information about the formation of the company. And that just goes to show you that, everybody's learning something all the time. And despite the fact that I've only been in LifeVantage for 2.5, 3 years, that was a great insight. So thank you for that. Rachel, go ahead and advance to the next slide. Skip mentioned about Dr. McCord really activating this NRF2 pathway and not really even recognizing what he had done, but he knew that he had tackled the issue of reducing oxidative stress due to free radical damage. And I'm going to try to go into that just a little bit. And I know we've got a lot to cover, so let me sort of jump through. Free radicals are produced by all of your cells every second of every hour of every day. and they are a byproduct of your metabolism. They're byproduct of your using fuel, using oxygen, just your daily life from the very moment that you take your first breath. And what happens is this free radical oxidative stress or damage, which is cumulative, has an effect on every single organ system in your body, from your heart to your skin, to your kidneys, to your knees, etc. And, you know, our job as doctors is to use medicines. I mean, that's what the medical degree is for, is to use medicine to treat these organ systems. But maybe really we might have it wrong. Maybe what we should be doing is treating that central cog in this wheel, which is to reduce free radical oxidative stress. Rachel, go ahead and advance the slide. And the way that we do that is by bringing in Superman. Okay, well, who's Superman? Well, Superman are the internal cellular antioxidants that we were equipped with at birth. And they consist of three in particular. The first one is superoxide dismutase, which Dr. Joe McCord, in fact, discovered back in the late 30s, 40s. And then catalase and glutathione peroxidase. These are just three of very important antioxidant enzymes that the body produces, but it's not the only survival genes that are affected by Protandim. There are over 400 survival genes and or enzyme systems that are turned on, and we're only talking about these three. But these three are super important because they are responsible in binding up all of the free radicals that our body produces. And until about age 20, they do a pretty darn good job because we have no oxidative stress to speak of at that point. But then something happens. What happens is eventually that cumulative damage due to free radicals has a destructive toll upon the very mechanisms of the cell that make these enzymes, and they become inefficient and no longer work. And as a result of that, we start to have an imbalance, and that imbalance is called oxidative stress. So that's what we're trying to get rid of. Rachel, go ahead and advance the slide for me, please. So realize that our world is very toxic. We have chemicals, we have pollution, we have bad food, we have toxins in our food, we have gas fumes, so many different things. And all these things hijack our system, not to mention the fact that our own bodies produce free radicals, but these are just additional sources of free radicals to include radiation and EMF. So we're really in a toxic world. We need some way to take back our own biology. And that's what Protandim is all about. Protandim is an NRF2 synergizer, which simply means that we are activating the NRF2 pathway in our own genetic instruction code. I mean, how unreal is that? And what it does, in essence, is it actually turns on superoxide dismutase, that very internal antioxidant that we needed and had lots of when we were a kid, but don't have so much of when we're older. And it can increase it by 30%. And it also increases catalase by 54% and glutathione peroxidase by 300%. And this was also the only dietary supplement that was shown to extend life in male mice by 7%. Now, what is happening with this product? Why is it able to do this? Well, look what it contains. It contains turmeric, milk thistle, green tea, ashwagandha, bacopa. But the thing is that all of those ingredients, while they're organic and pure, they themselves are all very weak antioxidants and also NRF2 activators. But when you put them together in this very special mix, which is what Joe McCord spent 30 years trying to patent and find out what would turn on superoxide dismutase, they actually amplify each other by a remarkable 1,800%. That's 1,800% over the baseline of what any one of these individually will do, which is another reason why you're not supposed to take Protandim NRF2 with turmeric or with green tea extract, because this mixture is exactly right in the proportion that it is designed. And it's incredible what it does. Rachel, go ahead and advance. So when you are knocking out free radicals, most antioxidants that we take in by mouth are actually secondary antioxidants. Those are things like vitamin C, eating kale, eating broccoli. They're all good for you, but you would have to eat 375 oranges to equal the power of one Protandim NRF2 synergizer, or 87 glasses of wine. I mean, you could not drink that much wine, right, without falling over or being dead. How about 11 pounds of blueberries? Talk about the cramps from that. So this is a 1-to-1 ratio, but that's not what we're doing with Protandim. Protandim is so unusual. Protandim is knocking out 1 million free radicals per second in every single one of your 37 trillion cells because it's turning on the genes in all of those cells. It's not acting as an antioxidant. It's acting as a stimulant to have you make your own antioxidants at the cellular level. This is unheard of, and we're the only ones that do this. All right, so let's look at this. So oxidative stress from age 20 to age 80 was tested. This is what it does without Protandim, this red bar. But look what happens when you put Protandim in the mix. This is in everyone who's ever taken it. Rachel, advance that slide, please. Look at this, it's flatline. From age 20 to 80, they have the same oxidative stress as a 20-year-old. This is in everyone, and this occurs within 30 days of taking it. So you can reduce your oxidative stress by 40% in everyone that has ever taken Protandim. This is absolutely unheard of. And in fact, the more that you take it, the longer you take it, the better your result. And this was studied in multiple universities and in multiple research articles, as Skip alluded to. There are over 26 or 27 articles, I think maybe even up to 31 now, that document the effect of this reduction of oxidative stress. And this was tried to be disproven or proven by other universities that had nothing to do with the LifeVantage company. Harvard University, Colorado State University, Washington State University, the American Heart Association, they all put their own money into this to try to see if this really did what it said it was going to do. And in fact, it proved the same thing. And that's where they got their documentation and patents. So this is unbelievable. 7 unique patents documenting the benefit of this particular product. It is not a drug. It is a food activator. We don't like to call it a supplement because it's not supplementing anything. It's activating your own body system. And it was what was talked about in that original ABC primetime video. Well, Washington State University said that NRF2 activation was potentially the most extraordinary therapeutic and breakthrough in the history of medicine. Can you imagine? I mean, this is literally changing what medicine is and how medicine is practiced, especially in functional medicine circles. We're getting away from drugs, you guys, and we're starting to do preventative treatment, and we're using food products as the start of all of this. You guys are on the cutting edge. Rachel, go ahead and advance that. Well, you know, the LifeVantage company wasn't going to rest its laurels just on Protandim NRF2. They started working on the other survival genes that they thought that they could talk to at the genetic level. And they included 2 other ones. One was called the NRF1 gene, and the other one is called the NAD gene. So let's talk about NRF1 Synergizer for a minute. This also contains 5 organic ingredients, and what it does is it addresses the secondary biochemical effect of aging, and this is mitochondrial dysfunction. You know, mitochondria are needed by your body in order to survive. They produce all your cellular energy, ATP. 95% of that is produced in the mitochondria. Well, what happens if the mitochondria are damaged or ruined by oxidative stress and free radical damage? Well, your body doesn't function as well. You can't sleep as well, your cognition is poor, you don't heal as well. So that's what Protandim NRF1 Synergizer does. It increases your mitochondrial numbers, and it also increases their resistance to destruction by free radicals. And the last thing I want to talk about, the last synergizer, is the great holy grail of them all. It's the NAD Synergizer. I had the opportunity to be in Long Beach, California, when they released this and introduced this. This was a breaking science. I mean, people could not believe that this holy grail of anti-aging had actually been discovered. First of all, NAD is required for every cell in the body. It's important for preserving your genetic material, repairing your cells, doing housekeeping, getting rid of dead cells, preserving your system. It tells the other organ systems what to do. And again, it's using natural organic ingredients, and it supports a positive mood and motivation and boosts your mental and physical energy. And not only that, you feel the benefits even in a couple of days. So this is the NAD Synergizer. What's crazy though is what they didn't expect. They found that if you were already NRF2 activated and NRF1 activated, Rachel, go ahead and hit that slide. Look what happens to your NRF1 activity on top of your already improved baseline using the other products. It increased by an additional 69% if you had all 3 products working together. And go ahead and hit that button again, Rachel. NRF2 was increased not 40%, but 1,563% above the baseline. That means anyone who was already getting benefit from NRF2 was now like off the chart. This was crazy, right? And this was just cutting edge science released literally on the days that this product was released to market. And the last thing is look at NAD, 1,792% increase in NAD gene activation above baseline if you have already NRF2 and NRF1 on board. This was what was called the tri-synergy effect. And in fact, LifeVantage decided that they would patent this as well because of this phenomenal effect that now you and everyone else can benefit from. And don't realize that too, that LifeVantage produces tons of other products that make use of the same technology. Pet Tandem, which uses NRF2 technology. Their hair products, which uses NRF2 technology. All of these things are a system of products that are based in science. And that's what is so special about the LifeVantage company, that they use science to make their decisions. They use scientific products, scientific research, documented in the peer review literature. So this is not a fad. This is not just Neil Goodman saying, hey, this works really great, you should try it. This is actually documented at the NIH. So guys, this is an unbelievable opportunity to be able to use these for your patients. And I have done that exactly, which is what brought me, because I want to state something, Rachel. I've been in practice for 35 years, practicing medicine. I've done it the old fashioned way, okay? When I was not going to risk my reputation by getting behind some sort of a fad product that did not have any basis in real science. And when I started seeing the benefit that my patients had, which honestly I did not expect, but when I saw that, that validated it for me. And I used it as well, and I dug into the research, and it was unbelievable what I saw. So thank you for this opportunity to let me tell your audience about it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Goodman. It's so exciting hearing that we have an affordable way. Do you guys notice the prices? The average product price in LifeVantage's line is about $49.99 US. So these are accessible. Every consumer, your patients, your clients, even your friends and family, they're going to be asking 4 questions, either consciously or subconsciously, is, does it work? Can you prove it? Is it affordable? And is it unique? Meaning, can you get it anywhere else? These are products that are all natural, non-GMO, nothing artificial, and you can only get them at LifeVantage, which gives you a really interesting marketplace opportunity to provide your network with products that are lifestyle formulas like pre and probiotics for gut health, alternatives to their daily Starbucks, Red Bull, Monster habit with their Axio Nerve 2 energy drinks, or even a better swap to their personal care products like hair care and skincare to get out of their exposure of parabens and sulfates and formaldehydes and mineral oils and all those things that are affecting their hormones, maybe even fertility. It's amazing seeing how toxic the world we really are inundated with, right? Dr. Neil, we were talking about that, what we breathe in, what we consume, even our Wi-Fi, 5G, LTE, these things all affected, but even personal care products. So LifeVantage is at the forefront of creating formulas that are backed by science and they're proven. You're going to hear from a few other doctors and professionals of why they chose LifeVantage as a business. Now, I'm telling you guys, if you're just watching this and you're just sold on the products and you want to try them, you want to get them in your body, you want to know what it feels like to be activated and do something for your health, guys, get started as a customer. The majority of the now 180 so people watching this live or checking out the recording, you guys are saying, hey, I want to discuss this as an entrepreneur and bringing this alongside of my practice or alongside of my business, or starting something completely on its own, maybe as something part-time, or maybe like I know that Dr. Skip was talking about, he wanted a solution out. Even though he had a thriving practice, he wanted to travel the world with his bride, and this is the business that's allowed him to do it. To get started as a LifeVantage distributor, we have 3 distributor packs. We have a silver, gold, and platinum, and I tell people, listen, it doesn't matter where you get started at, but I do recommend the platinum because it has one of every product. So if you want to try the Tri-Synergizer Pro Tandem, you want to try the different Axio energy drink flavors, the hair care, the skincare, you want to see and feel and taste and smell it, I recommend that product. Also, our gold and platinum packs have one of our convention tickets to it. LifeVantage hosts a convention once a year where all of the scientists, all of the doctors, all of the leaders come together in the height of marketing and entrepreneurship. And we spend about 3.5 days training you on how to become a successful independent distributor. Just like if you were to buy a Subway franchise, you'd go to the Subway convention and you get a ticket to that convention free in our gold and platinum packs. Now, once you get started as a LifeVantage independent distributor, you are given a beautiful, high-tech replicated website. This is where all of your network can go on. They can peruse the product, see the ingredients, add it to their cart, just like Amazon, and even add it to a monthly subscription. And guys, this is key. Over 90% of our people add it to, our customers add it to subscription, meaning they want it every single month. As Dr. Neal always says, the science shows you need to be on the products for at least 1 month for every decade you've been alive. So if you're 30, be on it 3 months minimum. If you're 60, at least 6 months. And it takes a while to get everything activated to its maximum capacity, and the results will continue to improve. I know for me, I continue to see better results even 14 months on the product, and was in my early 30s at the time I started. Once you get started driving people to your website, they get into the network, they're buying the products, they're reordering on a regular basis. You're probably wondering, okay, how do I get paid based on these referrals? Really simple. As Dr. Skip alluded to, we have a very aggressive compensation where about 49 cents of every dollar is paid back to distributors. So it's a high profit business with huge potential. You get paid every single week as we sell product. And guys, this is key. This is a product dependent business. It's a product focused business. And we have the best product in the world to bring to the consumers. And every single month as people reorder for life, you're gonna get paid on. Let's break this down. In order to maximize your commissions, you wanna sell at least $200 a month. And that's pretty simple, guys. I mean, to give you an example, that is you on the Tri-Synergizer and one other person, or that's you on Protandim and 4 friends on Protandim Nerve 2, right? Mother, sister, brother, friend, and you are at 200 in volume. Every time you refer somebody to either product packs or individual products, SKUs, you're gonna make 30 to 40% on their first order. So here's an example. Let's say you get started on a platinum pack and you refer 3 other distributors to a platinum pack. You're gonna make a total of $400 each. So 400 times 3, $1,200. And it's, guys, a simple way. Getting your platinum pack paid for is as simple as referring 3 packs. So 3 packs got your money back. Same goes for customers. Every single product that's ordered for the first time, you're gonna get paid 30 to 40%. It's called a Smart Start bonus. So after a few referrals, it's very easy to start getting your own product paid for, but also to generate an additional, upwards of hundreds or even thousands of dollars every single month. Now, building the long-term leverage, which is, I know why so many professionals are attracted, with over 10,000 people a month are joining LifeVantage right now. It's because they're looking for that long-term income that it builds over months and years. It's the people, it's the 5 to 9% on the reorders. So we kind of think of this as very leveraged income, or I call it mailbox money. Go to the mailbox, there's money, or go to the beach, still make money, beach money. Is imagine a year from now, somebody you referred to the Tri-Synergizer or to Nerve 2 decides to start our physique weight management course, right? Maybe they're, turning 40, or they're going on a trip and they want to get healthy, or they're get skinny, high school skinny again. You're going to make 5 to 9% on every single reorder on average. And that same goes for any single person in your network. That is why this is so lucrative. Also, as you move through the plan, we have other bonuses that help reward you for building a team of customers and helping people be successful. In fact, when you heard from Dr. Skip talk about his incredible financial rewards, one of those is actually our elite profit sharing pools, where every month the company takes 4% of its revenue profits and puts it back to its top elite distributors. Kind of think of it as a way that you can get a piece of the pie globally of $250 million company, even if you just build in your backyard. You might be in Louisville, Kentucky, or in Athens, Georgia, or in Long Beach, California, and maybe you're only selling to patients or clients or friends there, But imagine becoming an elite pro 7. You're going to share 1% of the company's profits, or an 8. You're going to share up to 2%, or a 9 is 3%, or a pro 10, 4% of the company's profits every single month. How would you like to have, quote unquote, ownership and be rewarded on a global basis? Now, next, I want to pass it over to an amazing woman. Kathleen Trost is amazing. I just met her in the last really year in LifeVantage. I've seen her go through so much. She's wickedly smart. She's active. She just won earned the My Life Venture bonus of $25,000. She bought her dream vehicle with it. And she's a doctor of physical therapy and has practiced since 2007, specializing in women's health, orthopedics, myofascial release. She's a huge fitness fanatic, a biohacker at heart. And Kathleen, I just wanted you to hop on today just to share why, as a doctor of PT, you said, what, I got to join this company. And what are the rewards that you've seen since then? Over to you.
My goodness. Well, when I saw this 7 years ago, my first thought was, why haven't I heard of oxidative stress, having been, in the health profession my whole life? And then I felt an onus on me to do something with that for sure, because my specialty was working with patients with chronic pain as a myofascial release therapist in women's health. So I knew I was going to share this information hands down. What I realized as a private practice owner for many years is that although I didn't have a boss, I was still very trapped. And I was stuck. I didn't have any way, I didn't have any leverage, as Dr. Campbell was saying earlier. And so when I was ready to become a mom, I didn't have any choices. I decided to actually close my business because it's such a huge responsibility to run a private practice. And, sometimes we just want to break. And I did have burnout, even though it's a profession I really loved. I started sharing LifeVantage after my second son was born. And immediately it started subsidizing the number of patients I had to have on the table. So I was grateful for that, because that bought some time back with my family. And that just kept growing. I started sharing this in my network of other healthcare practitioners. They started getting on board because they saw the same importance in sharing this with not only their patients, but their colleagues. Because if you are a health professional or fitness professional, or people look to you for your health knowledge, like, we have an onus on us to know about nutrigenomics and activating our body. It's just our moral responsibility. So I'm super excited to be on board. And that just kept growing and growing and growing. My group, we have tons of health coaches and healthcare practitioners in my team as well, and getting this word out. It has turned into a full-time leveraged income for me. So I've been able to completely separate myself from linear income for a little while. I took a voluntary retirement, and now I get to treat patients because I want to, not because I have to. And I get to 100% be available for my kids who are 7 and 9 today when they need me, and work my life around my profession instead of my profession around my life.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Wait, did I say that right? I think people get the gist, right?
It's so great to see somebody say, you know what, I'm just taking ownership of my life. I want more autonomy. I want more choices. And that's what, being an entrepreneur is all about. And it's so cool to see your passion of health now translate to impacting thousands of people's lives. And it's been an incredible 7-year journey for you. Next, we're going to go over to Colorado. We're going to be hearing from a plastic surgeon who has specialized in breast reconstructive therapy. Dr. Rebecca Glasser is a board certified plastic surgeon. She's been in practice for over 20 years. Her credentials are a mile long. It's so awesome to read. She's now focused completely on anti-aging prevention. She's been with the company for 7 years and is an elite pro 7 as well as Kathleen. And Rebecca, share a little bit about your experience as a doctor coming into this business, what you love about it, and the rewards you've received.
Absolutely. Sue, thank you so much for having me as a guest, particularly with your lineup tonight. It's a very impressive lineup, I have to say. For me, when I still lived in Jacksonville, Florida, was when I was first introduced to this company by a woman named Donna Deegan, who is a breast cancer survivor, and that was my specialization, and I was on her foundation board. And when she first approached me about this, I have to say I was quite the skeptic, and it took her about 6 months to even convince me to to look at this science. But, you know, I met with Dr. Alice Reed and I took a look at the science, and there's no way that I was going to say no to this opportunity, because I saw this at the time as a value added to my clinic. I had a private practice in Jacksonville, Florida. It was very good times. We were making silly money. And I have to say, when I was first introduced to this, I wasn't really interested in the business opportunity, which of course in hindsight, I think is really, you know, hindsight is 2020 when you realize, holy cow, if I had started in the business from the very get-go, you know, I would be one of those pro 10s up on the stage. It took me a little longer. I had a longer learning curve. But I think for those of you who, whether you're in healthcare or medicine or whatever you're in, what you have to realize from all of the guests that have been on speaking tonight is you have to realize that this science is real. There's no other nutritional supplement or activator that has 26 peer-reviewed studies. It doesn't exist. Look all you want, but you're not going to find it. So I think first and foremost, you have to have a belief in the science and a belief in the product. And I think those of us who are in healthcare, many of us came on board because of that belief in the science. But what I also want you all to understand is that medicine is changing. And if you look at medicine, you know, doctors honestly have one of the highest burnout rates of any specialty, of any career. And so you may be intimidated by a physician or somebody in the healthcare world, but the truth of it is we're human just like anyone else. And the switch triggered for me when I moved out to Colorado and I started working for a very small hospital out in Grand Junction, Colorado. And for 4 years, I took call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, nights, weekends, and holidays. And the truth of it is that's no fun, and nobody wants to do that. And I got completely burned out. And I was so thankful that I had this side gig, this side hustle that had been building over many years, where I had my out. I had my ability to make that choice and take the leap to become a professional network marketer. And that's what I did. And so, you know, what I want you all to understand is this is a gift. You know, if we think about our specialties, you know, and we think about our clinics, we're going to be able to touch, you know, 100 people, a few hundred people a year. But with this business, we're really able to touch thousands and potentially millions of people around the globe, and not only change their health, but also help them financially with the stresses that they're undergoing every day. So to me, this was just an amazing decision to switch over for the science, but especially for the business.
Yeah, it's been so great watching you build a really successful business and being able to find your true passion in helping other people be successful. And you're right, you know, when you're thinking about health and medical professionals, they are burning out. It's crazy to see the life expectancy. Guys, go research the life expectancy of a doctor. You'll be shocked. It's in their 50s, by the way. And so why is it so much more dramatic than the average population? Is because the way that field is changing, and it will only continue to change based on legislation, and people are really looking for it. I'm so excited, and I think that so many medical professionals and wellness and gym owners, even you're going to hear from one here in a second, they're looking for, I call it the laptop lifestyle, which I'm kind of living right now here in my hotel room in Portland, but it's really being able to share a product line that you believe in, you validated, you've researched, you've tested it, and has been beyond even validated in prestigious universities. But the fact that you don't need that physical location, you don't need, you know, Dr. Glasser, she doesn't have like a bunch of her Tandem, you know, in her garage, or stacks and stacks of our True Science skincare ready to give out. Yeah, you can have some product, you can sell it on retail, you can have it on your shelves. But the real benefit is having an online shopping portal where people can go and be referred to the products and you get a commission. And what we're talking about right now is the fact that 99.9% of the US and Canada has never even joined LifeVantage. They haven't even heard of it. We're in the beginning stage of the innovators and early adopters that are starting to look at nutrigenomics, using nutrition for their genes. And the wellness spike that we're seeing the last 8 years, 60% increase in wellness products, where other things like leisure technology, you know, some of the personal care, clothing, accessories are starting to decline. And I think that is because people, the average population, the average person, they're sick and tired. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. What they're doing isn't working. Their diet, the standard American diet and Canadian diet, it's just not working for them. And so they need a better way. They're sick of going to the nutritional shelves and randomly, blindly grabbing a bottle and hoping and praying that this might be the answer for them. We can give them the answer, and we can back it with over 220,000 studies now that have published on oxidative stress, and we have the #1 solution for it. But you're joining before everybody is joining before Protandim is a household name. That's exciting. That's what Dr. Skip said about being ahead of the curve, being in front of it. Now, before I go to our last few stories, I want to share with you the last 18 months of LifeVantage. We have had an extraordinary growth run, and we're getting press almost on the monthly or weekly basis. A little over a year and a half ago, our CEO and president, Darren Jensen, was elected to the DSA, Direct Selling Association Board of Directors. Earlier last year, we had our biggest second quarter of 2019. We did a lot of international expansion last year. We launched into Spain in March. In April, we received an award for the best places to work in the direct selling industry. So that's really huge. We added Ireland to our repertoire of countries in May. We added Erin Brockovich to our board of directors, the very famous environmental and health advocate. You might have seen her portrayed by Julia Roberts in the famous film. In May, we also won a Stevie Award for our newest Nerve 2 activated hair care launch. That was True Science Hair Care. In June, we launched into Belgium. We are also a few weeks later added to the Russell 3000 index because of our very prominent growth that we've been receiving. We celebrated our 10-year anniversary, guys. So this is not a new company. We're just not unheard of yet. You know, we have a couple 100,000 devoted customers, but nobody's really heard of us yet. We had our largest fiscal year ever last year, 2019. We expanded into our NAD Synergizer that Dr. Goodman shared that really works on the NAD and the sirtuin proteins to help with that mental acuity and mood. That was a massive product launch for us. A few weeks later, November 2019, we launched into New Zealand. January, we posted again another record quarter of revenue. And to close out Wellness Week, LifeVantage was asked to ring the closing bell on NASDAQ in Times Square. So to have that prominent, like the publicity was just such an honor. And our stock has been exploding. LFBN, go check it out. We are the front jersey sponsor of the Salt Lake Real soccer team and now open in 19 different countries. But where can you take this? Guys, this is a publicly traded company. So we are very transparent about what you can make. You know, our average, you know, people might only make a few bucks a month or a couple $100 a month, but the potential is there. The more people that you share these products with, it's all based on customers, and when products are sold, the more potential. Now, you've heard from a couple of our Elite Pro 7s like Kathleen and Dr. Rebecca. The average income at Pro 7 is over $12,000 a month. That's what Dr. Glasser was saying, like, hey, I had this side gig. I had a way out. I had an option to get me to a better lifestyle. And you heard from Dr. Skip and myself, we are Master Pro 10s, and that's a monthly income, guys. That number is not annual. That is every single month. LifeVantage pays us on average. It doesn't suck. It doesn't suck. Next, I'm going to go over to a former physical therapist. Gary Stern is also an athletic trainer, certified athletic trainer. Gary is a powerful, powerful motivator, a huge, passionate athlete, cyclist, 5-time state cycling champion. He's an Elite Pro 7, and he was formerly on the dark side. He was a top pharma rep for GlaxoSmithKline. Gary, I'm so glad that you joined us here with the good guys. So I'm going to pass it over to you to share what LifeVantage has meant for you as a former physical therapist and how you found a better lifestyle now with your side gig in LifeVantage.
The dark side, huh? I saw the force, Luke. Can you hear me? All right, brilliant. Yeah, I saw the force. The force is one within me now. Yeah, it's not an area I'm particularly proud of, but here's the deal, guys. I mean, I feel pressure going after Skip and Dr. Goodman and Kathleen and Dr. Glasser. If you're not excited about this, see, what I got excited about was I could finally go back to the health and wellness side of things. Guys, my cycling coach introduced this to me. That's why I'm kind of doing this in front of some of the cycling awards that I've won. He introduced this to me as a way to help me with recovery in cycling. And it made sense, right? Something that's all natural that can help your body basically rejuvenate itself, right? Make the antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, all the enzymes you need to recover faster. And kind of like what Skip said at the beginning of this, I looked at my wife. I didn't even watch the video. I read the first clinical study. See, I had said no 28 times to the network marketing profession. There was no way I was going to join one of those things. So what changed my mind was that initial clinical study. I saw that very first clinical study done on Protandim Nrf2, and I looked at my wife and I said, we're going to be on this for the rest of our lives. See, and I had already lost my mom and dad to cancer. I had already lost my mother-in-law to Alzheimer's. And I wasn't going to succumb to one of those things. I was going to do everything possible and tell my father-in-law, my brother, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, all the people I loved and cared about were going to be on these products for the rest of their lives, period. And as an athlete and a medical professional, I can tell you, when you're out there exercise, moderate exercise is great for you. It's another way to help lower oxidative stress. But when you're racing for 2 hours or 3 hours and your heart rate's 170 beats per minute plus, that's not exactly healthy for you. Athletes dump even more oxidative stress into their systems. So some of the benefits that I've seen myself are not just the recovery side of things. I was sleeping better. My wife had never known me to have dreams. We had been married at the time I joined LifeVantage for 10 years. And she had never known me to dream because I was always like not getting a deep night's sleep. My body wasn't recovering from all the crazy workouts I was doing. And finally, I was able to get a good night's sleep. Finally, I was waking up refreshed before the alarm clock went off, ready to kill the day, ready to go out and just do it right away without being groggy and foggy in the morning. And then about 6 weeks in, I started breaking power records on the bike. But here's the funny thing. That business, the one where I said, I'm never going to do the business, right? I'm not going to do that silly thing. The crazy thing is, I started telling everybody I loved and cared about this thing. And before you know it, I was doing the business. So you're right. I kind of had to become a distributor at that point because I was telling everybody about it. That thing, the same profession that I said no to 28 times, allowed me to get rid of that pharmaceuticals job. I was handcuffed there, guys. The money was good. I felt horrible about what I did every day. It was total sales. It really wasn't putting the patient's best interests at heart, right? And I felt torn. I felt ethically I wasn't doing what I was designed for. And so the crazy thing was 22 months, or 20 months after joining LifeVantage, I was able to fire my boss in the pharmaceutical industry. I was able to be that stay-at-home dad. That's the biggest benefit this has provided. My son got a Spanish Honors Award, a Spanish Honor Society Award today. I was at the school. There were some moms there, but there weren't very many dads because it was during working hours. If you want to be that parent, if you want to be that spouse, if you want to travel the world like Skip and Jill wanted to do, if you want to be present for your little ones, there's no better industry in the world. This profession is amazing. So the last thing I want to hit on here is why? Why should a healthcare professional take a look at this, right? A guy like me that said no 28 times. The number one reason I said yes was the peer-reviewed data. There was science behind it, a backbone. Number one. Number two, the patents. I don't know if we talked about that yet, but there are patents protecting our products all over the world. Number three, publicly traded company. You can look at them through a magnifying glass and see full transparency. You know what's going on at any given time. With those three things at your back, you can go up and recommend this to anybody. Anybody. I don't care if you're a doctor, a nurse, a physical therapist, pharmaceutical rep, if you're a chiropractor, a massage therapist. I don't care what type of healthcare professional you are. Not healthcare, because we have a sick care system. Sorry. A health or wellness professional you are. there's nothing better that you can recommend to your patients. There's nothing better that you can recommend to your clients. There's nothing better, like Rachel said, that you can recommend to your family and friends and loved ones. So I'm so grateful I joined this. Not only has it helped me from an athletic standpoint, but also from a business standpoint, from a personal growth standpoint. If you'd have asked me 10 years ago if I was going to be on stage in front of thousands and thousands of people, making them cry of all things, absolutely not. I would have said, no, I'm not getting up there. That's crazy. But it's allowed me to grow and to develop as a father, as a husband, as a businessman, and to leave a mark, to leave a legacy, to make an impact at the end of the day. And I tell you what, with the insurance the way it is nowadays and the sick care system the way it is nowadays, it's getting harder and harder as a health and wellness professional to make an impact. This is how you can do it, guys. Just we welcome you to join us. Rachel, thank you so much for having me on here tonight. With the lineup that went in front of me, I was almost scared to jump on. I didn't want to hit yes to click on the camera, but I'm grateful that you had me on here tonight. And again, we welcome you guys to join us here. Link arms and let's roll.
It's a lot of fun. It's so been amazing watching you create an elite Pro 7 business, as we talked about, 6-figure potential at that rank. You guys can check out our annual earnings statement. Next, I want to head over to Indiana to Erica Dale. Erica and her amazing husband, Jesse, they're the founders of Macro Missionary, former gym owners. Erica has a lot of credentials in the fitness world, is also pursuing her PhD in nutrition. She's had an amazing fitness transformation. She's competed in bodybuilding competitions and done very, very well there. But she said yes. Her and Jesse said yes 4.5 years ago. It's built now into an elite Pro 7 business. So Erica, just really quickly, as a gym owner, former gym owner, and for somebody who runs a very large health and fitness coaching business, what do you love about having LifeVantage as your side gig?
Thanks, Rachel. Well, I brought Jesse on tonight because, you guys, I didn't really understand oxidative stress. It was kind of like, what is that thing? I was blindsided by this free radicals, and I talked to Jesse about it. I always refer to him as my nerd, as my science guy, and he gave me the green flag. He said, I don't know about network marketing. I'm not in for that, but I'll take these products, and I want these in my body. And after a week of really good sleep, he began to research more. And after a few months of the business side, in fact, when I joined this company, guys, he said, go ahead and do your thing. Those were his words to me. So I wanted to bring on someone that maybe didn't have the positive outlook on the business side of things to just share his input and why he is 100% on board now.
Yeah, like Dr. Goodman, he gave you the science, and that's what bought me in. So I have 4 P's to my belief in this business. The first was product. And like Dr. Goodman, he told you the product. The science was there. It was sound. PubMed, just go to that, and the science is great. Just like Gary Stern was saying, my dad suffered from Alzheimer's, so that brought, we got him on the product. So I was all in on the product, all in. As far as the business side, I just, I was a brick and mortar guy, a gym owner. I felt like, hey, you got to have $18,000 a month in overhead to be a real business person. And you got to invest, get an SBA loan to be a real business person. That's just, how I thought. That was my domestications. So the second thing that really bought me in this was the people. I mean, this business has real, big names in the industry. Eric Worre, Rachel Jackson, Tara, Tony Robbins. They're at their seminars. And I'm like, are you kidding me? These people are speaking at your guys' seminars? That was amazing. So that brought me into it. It was very growth driven. So the second P was the people. The third was the perks. I mean, we legit got married in Hawaii from this company. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like we're going to Hawaii? I would never go to Hawaii. We went on a Mediterranean cruise. So that was my third level of kind of belief building. And then the fourth was, it was like Jerry Maguire, show me the money. I mean, show me the money. My belief is there, are people making money in this industry? Is it real? And that it was unbelievable. Like Dr. Glasser's story was. People are making real money just sharing this product, sharing the studies, sharing the results. And that was my fourth pillar of belief. And I was like, I'm all in. I saw it. You know, I was a believer. I was just like, you know, like Gary said, I was not like into, you know, the internet marketing thing or whatever people want to call it. But I mean, when you have an amazing product with amazing people that offers you amazing perks and is going to pay you handsomely for sharing that, like, to me, it was just, now it's a no-brainer. And I'm telling like all of my friends, and they're like, hey, I thought you like weren't into this thing. And I'm like, just go through the 4 Ps with me, you know, share this with your grandma, share this with your grandfather, and so forth. So yeah, that's kind of my story.
I love it. It's seeing you guys build a 6-figure business on the side, along with teaching people how they can have a purpose-driven diet and take back their health and their body. It's so awesome to see you guys win and travel the world with you. So much fun. And to close us out, a very special woman in my life. I've watched her. She's had an insane background of just so many boards and different things she's been a part of. She's the founder of Vitality MD. This is Dr. Shawn McKee. She's a board certified neuroradiologist and an Elite Pro 8 with LifeVantage, with a multiple 6-figure income. She's also married to a doctor, a gastroenterologist, with 2 incredible, good-looking, college-age sons, and she's an elite athlete. So, Shawn, I just want to pass over to you just to kind of close out with your story, because you've been involved with LifeVantage in the last couple of years. Things have really ramped up. You built an incredible business, and it's done really well for you. So share a little bit about your story coming in as a neuroradiologist.
Well, thank you, Rachel. It's an honor to be here. And wow, I've been blown away listening to your speakers. What an incredible lineup. I came into this company in a completely non-typical way. I was mid-40s 9 years ago, and I was absolutely exhausted. And my sweet husband suggested I go to see this, anti-aging doctor, because I must be deficient in something. So she put me on this wonderful anti-aging cocktail. The only problem was I was taking 28 pills a day, and I still didn't feel any better. And 6 months later, after dutifully swallowing all those pills, I went back for my follow-up appointment, and she said, how you doing? I said, I hate taking that many pills. And that's when she said the words that changed my life. She said, well, there's one thing that's clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress in everyone who takes it by an average of 40% in 30 days. I was like, you had me at hello. I am taking that for the rest of my life. I'm force feeding it to my husband. I'm giving it to my dog, my grandparents, my parents, and my kids. So I got the big box, which made me a distributor. Had no intention of doing this as a business because I already wore 10 hats. I was the managing partner of a 140,000 square foot health and wellness facility with 7 pools, an indoor track, and 85 fitness classes a week. I was the one person that everybody came to when there was a problem, and there were always problems by the hundreds. And so because of that and the elite Ironman triathlons and ultra marathons and CrossFit that I was doing, I always say I was burning the candle at all 12 ends. And so no wonder I fell asleep all the time. So these products came into my life. Well, at the time there was one Nrf2 activator and just the skincare. So I immediately, started taking it. Didn't expect to feel anything because I had been taking this wonderful anti-aging cocktail, didn't feel anything. Well, bam, 6 or 7 weeks later, it was like a veil had been lifted. I had my old mojo back. I had found my sparkle. I felt the way I should feel. I was like, oh my goodness, everybody needs to know about this. So I started looking at the company as an industry. I'd never ever imagined a board certified neuroradiologist, 27 years of school, would do something called network marketing as anything other than just taking the products, right? Well, when I realized that, I felt a moral obligation to let people know, because I had researched everything. I had been reading all about the latest and greatest supplements: wasabi, ginkgo biloba, ginseng, L-theanine, phosphatidylserine, choline, all these things that you should be taking. And I had been adding them to my regimen. I'm like, this can't be right. Adding one more thing. When does it end, And so when I realized what we had is such a simple solution to a problem that everyone has and nobody even knows that the solution is out there, I felt completely obligated to tell people about it. And the definition of success, according to Mark Twain, is to find out where the masses are headed and get there first. And look at these crazy glasses I'm wearing. They're blue blockers. They're Swannies. They are here to prevent the blue light from the the computer screen and the background lights from hitting my eyes so that I can get a good night's sleep. I'm sitting here on a desk cycle, right? On a stand-up desk. All this is biohacking. The whole world is biohacking. They're moving that way. And LifeVantage has been there sitting there for 10 years going, wonder when they're going to catch up. Here we are. So it's the perfect solution for problems the whole world is having. They just haven't figured out that we've got the solution. We always have, and here we sit.
Oh, it's so awesome. And guys, as we close out, I know you might be watching this presentation. You may be a doctor, a nurse, a wellness professional, a health coach, a fitness trainer, a gym owner, a physical therapist, right? A radiologist. And you might be wondering, can I do this? You know, this is a business. You can fit into the nooks and crannies of your life, working it from your phone, from your tablet, and plugging into the support that LifeVantage has. Our team alone, not including LifeVantage, has done billions in sales. Our team has done over 300 million in sales over the last 9 years. We've already positioned almost 60,000 people inside of our network, following a very viral selling system with a lot of tools, resources, even social media assets to build this online if that's something that you choose to do. But we know that your network is probably just looking at you to say, hey, thumbs up. It's using your influence to positively impact people's lives, to educate them, and to get them out of their own way so that they can find a solution to recover from the workouts faster, to have that veil lifted off, to get the mojo back and the sparkle, like Dr. Sean said. So guys, at this point, you've seen the information, you've heard just a handful, guys, over 1,100 doctors in this company. We grabbed a few, as well as a few other, you know, incredible wellness rock stars. You've heard why they said yes. Now it's time for you to make a decision, right? Either first type of person on this call, you want some more info, you want to do the research, read the PubMed, the patents. I get it. I was there 4.5 years ago. The second type person says, you know what, I'm not so sure about the business, but I want to get on the products. Guys, at least get started on the little yellow pill, Protandim Nerve 2. I recommend the Tri-Synergizer here in the United States because all three is activating. You're kind of hitting it from all angles and maximizing your performance. And the third type of person, saying, hey, I want to get on the products, but I want to build a business. I do want to refer other people to this. I'd love to see what I could create with the perks, the incentive trips, the rewards about building a business part-time. Will you want to join the team? And if you guys have any questions, get back to who told you about this presentation and ask them, hey, like, let's talk with somebody. I want to hear, like, from your business partners what they've seen, because you're probably already thinking of who you know that needs LifeVantage and Protandim in their life. I want to thank you guys so much for your time tonight. Thank you so much to all of our speakers for their incredible due diligence, their energy, and their testimonial. And for all of you guys, this call is officially a wrap, and I want to be the first to say welcome to LifeVantage.